So I would like to continue explaining my family and Freemasonry. So in part one, I was basically saying that just because somebody joins Freemasonry doesn't mean that they're a satanic worshiper or they're evil or whatever. So joining the Freemasons is exactly like joining your local church, for example. So, why do people join churches? They join a church because they're trying to do something good. They're choosing the good path. And it's the same exact perception that people have that join the Freemasons. They're joining because they think it's a good club to belong to. It's the fraternal order. It's been around forever, and it built America. Blah blah blah. So they're joining it because they think it's good. I mean, you think that people that join a church do research and they investigate and try to, uncover and discover everything there is to know about religion and the religion that they're joining? No. They're just normal people working every day, and then they want to join the church because everybody talks about Jesus and you hear it on the radio, and of course you have to belong. You have to join the herd. You can't venture on your own like some of us do because you get ridiculed and attacked. You see, the sheep or the people, the ones that belong to the herd, are not the ones who invented and created religions or, churches, whatever you want to say. They're not the ones who invented Freemasonry. They didn't organize it, okay? They did not build it and structure it. They just join it. They're pawns in a game. If you've watched my videos over the years, you know that I often break down all sorts of esoteric wisdom and the symbolism of Freemasonry. You see, the same people that own and run and have organized groups like Freemasonry or the Skull and Bones, for example, um, or your local church, religion, they're the same group behind it. They're the same ones that are behind everything, your government, the Federal Reserve, everything, international banking. This group, the elite, the world leaders, the Illuminati, they are behind it all. You can't get mad at the little pawns that have to belong to it. I mean, money's evil, but we all have to make it in order to survive. So Christians or religious people that belong to any particular faith, um, it's not their fault. They're not the evil ones. That's like why I make my videos and I try to explain to these good people. That's why I spend my time trying to show them the truth and the light, because it's certainly not about some fake man made God from thousands of years ago, but yet these people follow it blindly. It's the same thing with Freemasonry. People just join it, they follow it blindly, they learn what they're told to do, and they follow the dogma. So people who join Freemasonry are not some evil satanic group that are going around, making blood sacrifices while they're at the temple or the lodge, whatever. And just like any organization or group or club or whatever, there are probably very evil, satanic people in the group that no one else knows about or whatever. It's just like in churches or whatever. I'm sure they have their little evil spies or whatever you want to call them. So, that can be found in any group. But that does not mean that every single person that belongs to the Freemasons is some kind of psychopathic, satanic death worshiper or something. So, like I said in my first video, um, my family has no bloodlines in Freemasonry. My grandfather had a business, it was doing okay, so they asked him to join. He joined. I mean, he was part of the Shriners, he was a clown. He drove one of those bicycles that have a huge wheel in front and a small little wheel in back, and he had a little miniature clown of himself, you know. And if you look at that symbolism, which I didn't notice then, obviously, but when I'm older, and I'm sure he didn't know either, he just was just being a clown. The family loved him, and he was just playing the part. He doesn't understand the whole, the symbolic symbolism, as I say, that it represents. And when my grandfather first met my dad, he actually liked him a lot. So he was the only one, I think, that my grandfather actually asked to become a Freemason, or suggested that he should join the Freemasons. And my dad did, and he became a Freemason. My dad is the nicest guy in the world. He, as some of you know, he's my stepdad actually. He adopted me when I was 12. My real dad left when I was like 3. So my mom met this guy in California, in Santa Barbara. And anyway, he became my real dad. And to this very day, I still call him dad. Um, you know, it's funny because if picture this, he looks like John Ritter, for example, if you know who John Ritter is of Three's Company. And he acts just like that. And it's funny that he was actually a cook and a chef too. But my point is that he is a good person like him. My dad changed my life and made me the man I am today. I mean, my dad's the nicest guy. I mean, I don't think he has one enemy. I mean, I can guarantee that he doesn't even have one enemy in life because he's kind to everyone. He's super friendly and he's just a genuine guy. He's a good person. Um, and he taught me a lot about morals and respect and honor and dignity. He always said that since I was a kid. That's all you got in life is your respect, your honor, and your dignity. And my grandfather is the same way. He's a great person. He worked hard his entire life. He's not no freaking satanic devil worshiper or freaking, it's just, that's just absurd. Seriously, for anyone to think that, Freemason families are involved in that. Like I said, some maybe, who knows, but the vast majority, I mean, not even close. That's absurd, man. That's just ridiculous. Now, my grandmother also joined the Freemasons, and it's known as the Eastern Star. And several of her daughters, my aunties, all joined too. Um, they just think it's a good organization, and they had friends, and they had little parties. Seriously, um, they have. I went there a few years ago and was talking to them all, and I was kind of showing them all the things that I'm doing and stuff. And when I started talking about all this and showing them and telling them the truth behind it, I mean, it's just like everybody's jaw was just dropping. They couldn't believe what I was talking about. They said, but this and but that, and no, that means this, and until I broke it down and they started to understand the whole thing, they're like, wow, like they had no idea at all that the truth behind it all. They even tell you that they're, the initiate level, and then when you're adept, when you're fully advanced, they have another meaning behind everything they explain to you. So it's the esoteric and the exoteric knowledge, the outer wisdom and the inner wisdom. But what you know is relevant to what level or plane of wisdom you're on. So my grandmother is nothing but a pure good person. I mean, in fact, to me, she is the best person that I've ever known on earth. Like I said, she doesn't have one enemy whatsoever. The lady has never gotten a ticket in her life. She's 93 years old. She helped raise me. She's nothing but a pure hearted, loving, good person. I mean, the best grandma anybody could ever ask for in this world. I mean, picture perfect. I mean, I grew up, she was always in the kitchen cooking, made big dinners, and, she spent all my grandfather's money on buying all the great grandchildren and, 7 daughters, and she just spent all the money on everybody. Basically, I'm not saying all, but you know what I mean? That's kind of what happened. And my grandfather kind of, worked his fanny off his whole life to provide for the whole entire family, you know. And it's sad, but he died an old bitter man. But you know what? He was a great loving man and a giving man. He gave and loaned people money left and right. I mean, I think it was a little over 100 grand that when he died, people still owed him, you know. And of course, they never paid. but that's a whole nother story. So my point is that my family that was involved or is involved in Freemasonry are nothing but normal people, just like everyone else. And no, I didn't join the Freemasons. I declined. I didn't want to join. It's not for me. But it's not, it's just because I guess I've surpassed the wisdom of what they would teach there. I already know and beyond what they would teach there. Um, so I want no part of it. I don't believe, in joining groups to help one another. I think that we're all part of one group. It's called humans. We're all part of mankind. We're supposed to help one another, not, you know, just join groups and just some of us are special, like religions think and stuff. No, I believe that everybody on earth is special and we're all part of humankind and mankind, and that's the group I belong to. So when I expose Freemasonry, or I describe and explain what the symbolism means, whatever, I'm not cutting down the individual person that belongs to the group at all. I'm talking about the ones who organized it and designed it. Same thing with religion. I'm not there to hurt any Christian and, make them feel bad or make them, whatever. Nothing evil or bad or negative. I'm doing it for a positive reason. I'm trying to wake them up to truth, because if they're such good people, then they deserve to know the truth, and that's how I see it. But, I don't sit there and think that every Christian on earth is a blood worshiper, sacrifice, cult death member, and they drink blood and eat the flesh. No, I mean, I'm telling them that so that they understand the religion that they belong to believes that. Therefore, in reality, they're supposed to be, and what they don't realize is they are the symbol of the followers who do drink the blood and eat the flesh. But that does not mean that they understand that or are doing that themselves. These people just don't know their own religion. I mean, I don't even believe in it at all. And I guarantee you that I probably know their religion better than they do. So, like I say, it doesn't matter what religion you belong to, or what group, like the Freemasons, or if you're a Thelemite, if you're a Satanist, you know, Muslim, whatever. If you break it all down and you do your research, you'll find out that it's the same group behind them all. They're going to teach you the same theology with different names and different whatever subjects, but it's the same theme. You've got to understand the very essence and the basics of it all boils down to the same thing, the same group, the same theologies. And it's the same thing with like police officers, for example. They're joining because they think they're doing something good. They joined to do good. They didn't join to be mean and evil. I mean, almost nobody really truly understands, why police were created, what they represent, the symbolism, blah, blah, blah. They just joined to do good and help mankind and be a good citizen and try to make the world a better place. So my point is, don't hate cops, don't hate Christians, don't hate people that belong to Freemasonry. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're pointing the finger in all of the wrong directions. I mean, that's the chaos. That's what people do. They're so eager to, to point and judge somebody, and they just want to freaking just, they got to, somebody has to fall for the crime. We got to put somebody in prison for the crime. And that's how they feel. So they start pointing the finger aimlessly. So this is part of the chaos theory. They have everyone arguing, debating, fighting. It's the division. That's what this whole thing's about. David, divide. That's why these trolls are doing chaos theory, the Hegelian dialectic. They are causing the chaos to divide the people and have everyone pointing the finger in all of the wrong directions except for the right direction. And that's how the elite Illuminati survive. That no one is battling and fighting them because they're too busy battling and fighting one another. The red versus the blue. Peace, love, and wisdom to you.